Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the CCA League Season 3, Week 2. I am DRF, joined by Mizuno, and what is this? It's a quadruple header!
Yeah, folks, we had some matches get shuffled around, and we had one brave team, that being Griffin and Nightfall, step in to save our precious stream from going off the air for 45 minutes or so. And now we get to finally bring you our originally slotted third match of the evening, now our currently fourth slotted match for the evening. We have a highly anticipated Div 1 matchup between UCSD Esports Gold and Kraken Squids.
Yeah, this should certainly be a good one, as we do have UCSD Esports Gold, a team that has been around for quite some time, one of the oldest teams in the CCA. They certainly are looking to, continue their campaign here to improve upon their previous standings, coming in 4th last season in Division 1 and 4th in entrance exam. So that's been hanging over their heads a little bit. They really want to be able to improve upon that. Meanwhile, on the flip side of things, we have the Kraken Squids, the Division 4 champions of last season, who now make their way through Division 1 and hoping to secure their first Div 1 win.
And man, DRF, these teams are ready to jump into Game 1. Again, you've seen it time and time again, folks. This is Clan Blitz on Museum DL Falsino. And take a look at these comms. This is an E-Leader battle going on right here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Go Child, that is 100% what you will expect them to play most of the time here. And then on the flip side, we are familiar with Kraken Squids having a relatively consistent backline from my understanding. So be on the lookout for a lot of these duels that are going to be taking place, as it does seem like Kraken Squids are getting the early favor here, able to pick off 3 members of UCSD, but it's Go Child, the anchor, that's going to be holding things down for their team as they get the second pick to buy their team some time to get back into action.
That's what I said. This is a E-Leader 1v1 battle here. I mean, basically, whichever E-Leader wins their fight is going to be the one that is going to be the dominant team at the end of the day. I mean, the amount of pressure that both of these E-Leaders are exerting right now is monumentous, as 2 go down on the side of UCSD Esports Gold, and it's just Go Child here hanging back and holding down the fort.
Coaster doing a great job down below as well, trying to just keep as much orange paint in mid as possible, not overextending, waiting for CD Woomy and Sunlight to take a step back in and lead the charge with a couple of picks here. Goat Child getting that pick on the T-Tech, that should help them out as well. This could be this is just a really big stalemate right now. It is going to take, I think, a solid double before anyone makes a move, and it's going to be 3 down on the side of the Kraken Squids. Make that a wipeout, and now this is going to be UCSD's opportunity to start moving in. The Inkzuka coming out, and there's the first dunk of the game, a pile of clams to follow, and they're going to dump everything they have into this. But do they have an additional follow-up? A couple more clams to put the cherry on top of this push, but I think this one might stop here, as they just don't have the clam economy around the basket.
What a solid start from UCSD Esports Gold, facing 2 specials on the side of Kraken Squids, University of Central Florida, and yet they were able to completely shut them down and negate Florida's crab tank sitting on spinner. I mean, that is a huge play to make and take advantage of. And now with Coaster hanging onto the ball here, 2 go down. Great trips from the side of Kraken Squids. Fedka cleaning up right over here and looking to gain more ground back in mid.
Yeah, a great recovery there by the Kraken Squids. Now they're going to have a good chance to get a mess on map control. But CD Woomy just came out of nowhere. CD Woomy didn't even get the ping. That was all Go Child right there. Oh, man. Go Child are doing exactly what they do best, and that's just staying alive. They do lead Division 1 right now after Week 1 with 1.4 deaths per game. That is a Division 1 low, and we can see that perfectly on display here, as I'm not even sure if Go Child has gone down more than the ones from that initial push.
Right, exactly. Now this is going to be a very interesting situation here for the side of Kraken Squids, because they're holding on to 2 balls right now and only a couple specials online. But as you can see, Go Child has now moved forward and progressed forward to gain more ground and more sight lines on them. Retreating back, though, wisely as they're starting to notice some pressure. Go Child being able to move forward, while Elixir on the side of Kraken Squids has been staying put the entire time. If Kraken Squids can find a way to push Elixir forward on their E-leader, that would be a huge game changer for Kraken Squids.
Yeah, and CD Woomy is making a play here, able to get a big double with those 2 clam carriers, and this could be once again an opportunity for UCSD to expand on their current lead, but CD Woomy does get shut down. Let's see if we could possibly get a view from one of these Central Florida players, as they are now pushing all of UCSD players out of their plat. A great stop there by them.
Absolutely, a great defensive stop. And again, Elixir had great sightlines to prevent them from progressing any further past the spinner. And then players like Fedka cleaning up shop. And now they're trying to progress and make room. And there it is, DRF. Go Child goes down on the side of UCSD. And man, this is Kraken Squid's time to strike now, as 2 are down on the side of UCSD.
Make that 3. They are now completely staggered, and this is the Kraken Squid's opportunity to start making their move, as Elixir is underneath the basket with 1 power clam. The second power clam goes in. That's not going to be enough for the lead quite yet. They need 1 more, and they're getting pushed away from the basket. Gonna try to slide right in, but no, not going to be any good. A huge stop by UCSD.
And now this is the moment for Kraken Squids to scramble for overtime. They need to build a ball ASAP right now. They only have 6 clams to work with, but they need a ball right now to last in overtime.
If UCSD needs to get these clams, build up a power clam. Sunlight right now is sitting with 7. Build up the power clam and just throw it away. But luckily enough, they were able to hold on to the clams and their lives to prevent the overtime from taking place. Barely hanging on here in game number 1.
Oh, that's so unfortunate, because I believe it was either Dizzy or Fedka. One of them was fighting in that spinner area with the basket still open, and they hesitated to throw the clam in because they wanted to stay alive and try to, make more room, try to get another kill or 2, but they didn't get the chance to throw in that clam. And then if they got that chance to throw in the clam, they would take the lead, and they would not have been in that really uncomfortable position.
Yeah, I think in that situation, they really had to just force it. I completely understand what they were trying to do. They wanted to see if they can get a more prolonged push. I think in 90% of situations, what they did was the right thing. But this was one of those situations where I think they were close enough to the end of the game where it's like, just force it. There's a good chance you're going to go down anyways. Get that lead, pile in just as many as you physically can with your life that you currently have, and get back in there and defend. But they definitely took the option where, like I said, I think that would be what you would normally do in the other 4 minutes of that game. But I think a little bit of a missed opportunity.
Right, that just comes down to decision making, right? Like you said, 80% of the time that is the correct call. But again, in that scenario, sometimes you're not always exposed to those intense situations. Maybe they weren't paying attention to the clock, or maybe a teammate made a call to no, back up, stay alive, rather than force the clams in. So decision making there and exposure to various types of scenarios can definitely come into play.
Oh, absolutely. But, I think if there's one thing that they take away from that game, it's you're right there with UCSD. You absolutely can take a game off of them. They won a lot of those fights there. If they can just continue to pressure Goat Child, I think they're going to be able to get a lot of stuff done here. Although now we do see Elixir switch to Explo, which is going to require a little bit more strategic positioning in this backline battle.
Agreed, but my goodness, the paint pressure that Kraken Squids have for this map is absolutely perfect. And oh dear rep, this is huge. CD Woomy is already down. That Carbon player is down for the count already in the first 15 seconds. But never mind the wipeout. It doesn't matter as Kraken Squids go 4 down in the opening 30 seconds.
I mean, that's what CD Woomy's there for. CD Woomy is the Slayer, but their goal is to just go in and kind of, die a little bit. I think that created enough distraction that the rest of the players got in a great position there. They had control of the zone and were able to follow up with a couple of great picks. And now they see their count halfway through already, trying to hold on to the zone as best as they can, trying to escape that torpedo with Sunlight, but not able to get away with it as Dizzy gets credit for that kill there. And now with this 3v3 situation and the clock ticking, they need to build up specials very quickly. They're going to have one really great opportunity here to neutralize the zone and possibly flip it to extend this game, but they're not going to get it this time. Trying to force Gochild off of that right plat, able to do so, but not going to be able to follow up on the extra picks here.
Oh, I was gonna say some of those picks were really risky because they weren't prioritizing the zone in that moment. Yes, it was really good to get that kill on the E leader, but now just they did not have enough paint to secure the zone. They only were there to neutralize it. And that decision, again, that's decision making there, and that's the tough calls that you gotta make. And wow, UCSD just sweeping them right off their feet there. What a game.
Yeah, it's, like you said, it's decision making because like Kraken Squids had a great opportunity there. They had the zone in neutral. At that point in that stage of the game, you need to just collapse in on the zone. Just buy yourself a little bit of time. It's one of those things where they're making the choices they're making are not bad. Like, I don't want that to be what anyone takes away from this in the slightest. Those are completely logical decisions to be making. However, I think in those specific niches, we're in those niches at this point where they need to make a slight pivot to where the focus ends up being whatever you normally wouldn't want to do.
Yes, it's all about determining priority, and that's something that plays a decision making in Splatoon. It's so difficult to figure out, right? Because at the end of the day, the goal of that game is to capture the zone, and UCSD was able to fully capture the zone and fully prioritize on that as much as they can. So now as we're heading into another slippery slope of a map mode combo in TC Tail Alley, I mean, this is where now it's Kraken Squids. They're going to have to come up with something good here with their execution and how they're going to play out this match.
Absolutely. And slippery slope is a great, analogy, I guess, comparison. I don't know, but whatever the literary term would for that would be. But that's a great description there. It's like Neptune confirmed for me that analogy would be a good word there. But slippery slope for sure, because once you get to that second checkpoint, that's when things really start to fall apart if you're on the defensive end. Because from that second checkpoint, if you're able to clear it, that usually ends up meaning that you're 2, maybe 3 down. And from there, it's just a complete stagger the rest of the way. And you need to come up with a very clutch pick and ride that tower coast to coast the other end.
Taking a look at these comps here, only a couple of variations on the side of Kraken Squids, and meanwhile UCSD, they stick to what they do best and what they know best so far. So starting off already, 1 member down to Kraken Squids, make that 2 down. CD Boomy getting 2 clutch picks already, and that's what they've been doing best, allowing these opportunities to open up for UCSD.
Absolutely, and they're going to be able to clear that first checkpoint right away, which, sometimes we see teams that really sort of stall out on this first checkpoint, but UCSD wasted no time to get that cleared, but they do lose 3 of their members in the process. Luckily, the remaining member able to help take down 2 of the Kraken Squids as well to just buy their team a little bit of time to get back into action, as now it will be Kraken Squids who clear that first checkpoint. So as far as we're concerned here, this game's more or less in a very tied state, as these teams will most certainly be expanding on these scores 1 minute into the game.
Right, now this is where tensions are high here, because this is just a constant bloodbath. 2 go down on each side, 2 go down on the other side. Both teams it's just a giant tug of war right now that these 2 teams are basically doing, essentially with the tower acting as that rope in the middle here. And now we see, here we go, UCSD again on a 2 down situation, moving in hard onto Kraken Squids.
Kraken Squids needs to get the stop here, because this is where things get slippery for them, but they do go 3 down, able to shut down Gochild temporarily, but Sunlight very quick to jump back on that tower. That's going to be a delayed wipe right there, and this will be the 3rd checkpoint now for UCSD. They're going to be trying to work through this one as quickly as possible, because they know that they have the Kraken Squids on the ropes of this game.
And I love this pairing here, CD, Wumi, and Sunlight together on this top left area. But my goodness, great execution by Febka and Dizzy there, getting them off of that top right roof area and stopping the bleeding from progressing any worse than it already is. Getting down to 10 points though is a very scary lead. It can be reachable for Kraken Squids, but they're going to have to work to the bone to get to that point again.
Certainly, they need to start by getting back control of mid. I mean, that is a fantastic stop that they had, because it can be so difficult when at 10 points remaining to keep your composure and get the stops that you need. And they did exactly that. As we do see a bit of a trade here, it is going to be UCSD back in control of this tower 2v2 situation, with the tower about halfway back to where they had left off with it. So not going to be any more points on the board for UCSD, as they're going to go ahead and back up, reevaluate the situation a little bit. But no, it's going to be Sunlight that actually holds forward here. Going to get punished for that, though, as now this will be Kraken Squid's opportunity to try and get a couple more picks. But Go Child once again doing what they do best.
Yes, and with Sunlight and Go Child getting these individual picks here, it's ruining Kraken Squid's plans to head back into mid and take some ground back that they've been severely lacking for the majority of this game. This pressure is just unbelievable from them, and the aggression is very difficult to approach. Kraken Squids with a minute and a half left to go on the clock here. This is a very sticky situation for them.
Certainly, but like we said, it's doable. Eeltail Alley is such a fast-paced map mode, particularly with with tower control. It's a fast-paced map mode, and they're certainly not out of it yet. They just need to, find these picks that they've haven't had much opportunity with yet. But if they can get 2 down on the side of UCSD, this can flip on a dime. But not if Go Child continues to get these great picks here. Like Go Child playing like an MVP right now.
Agreed. And just again, it is doable, but my gosh, the pressure that UCSD is exerting right now, they're constantly toe tapping that tower and inching it forward bit by bit, creating basically a wall of sorts that the Kraken Squids are going to have to break through time and time again. And again, it just wastes time on the clock, because now 45 seconds have passed and there's only a little bit of time left for the Kraken Squids to make one final push.
Yeah, but it's not going to be helpful if that T-Tech goes down. They need to get these specials up quickly, as we are able to see that Sunlight that ultimately goes down. The junior needs to get this wave breaker out. Will pop it almost immediately, trying to just clear this mid area of any UCSD players. And that's going to certainly help them try to open this up just a little bit. 10 seconds to go. They're going to need to get on this tower. Goat Child is down. Sunlight is down. This could be the Kraken Squid's opportunity to make a move, but not if CD Wumi has anything to say about it.
And there it is, and that junior slipping onto that tower, and the game now goes to UCSD in stunning fashion. And now Kraken Squids is at the end of their rope here, down on this set, 0-3.
Yeah, it's very, like I said, UCSD, I feel like they've entered season 3 with a massive chip on their shoulder. They know that they are better than, the 2 4th places that they had recently, and they are eager to get themselves back in a position where they can improve on that. So trying to take down these Division 4, champions and runners up, that's the first thing on their list, and that's them trying to build up the momentum so they can get geared up for the Banana Splits, the Husky Splatsville Knights that are waiting for them on the back end of this schedule. But of course, it's not over yet, as the Kraken Squids are still a very formidable opponent that can really, sort of flip this thing here on Rainmaker Mincemeat. I think they just need to try to meet aggression with aggression, play similarly to how they did in game number 1. And I think Mincemeat will be a good map mode for them to try to replicate that.
I agree. I think with the combination of Fedka on the T-Tech and Dizzy on the sloshing machine that they played previously, I think that would be a great combination for them to exert that pressure and force that aggression onto UCSD. They have that potential, and again, I think it's just primarily just those small little decision-making tweaks and the just overall execution. And they got the ingredients. They're able to stir the pot, but now it's just finishing it off, and they do have the potential for that. And with Rainmaker Mincemeat, I mean, anything could happen on this map mode, considering how unbelievably this is a very cramped map mode combo here, and one drop of a dime and all of a sudden you lose checkpoint 1 and you're down 20 points. Anything can happen here.
Absolutely. It's going to be pretty interesting to see how these teams sort of set the pace, because that first checkpoint really dictates how the flow of this match goes in Mincemeat Rainmaker. Like, if you're able to get that first checkpoint before the opponent, you're typically in the best position to win this game, as there tends to be a little bit of back and forth here, but getting to the checkpoint first, gives you a great opportunity to push just a tad beyond that, because it's so difficult at times.
Noticing a couple of comp changes here. I see it looks like Sunlight is rocking the 52 Gal, and Elixir on the side of Kraken Squids is pulling out the ZNF Charger instead of the E-Leader. Interesting comp decisions, and I'm wondering if those are some specific adjustments for this map mode combo specifically.
Yeah, I am very intrigued by this backline duel that we're going to be seeing here, because obviously the E-Leader thrives on Mincemeat, but having the splash wall is such a massive help. And the only thing is that obviously with the ZNF, you're gonna have to be very tactical with your movement. You have to be so smart just to give yourself protection and move such that the E-Leader can't outrange you.
Exactly. But that splash wall play that Elixir has been demonstrating here, they are still able to exert some sort of pressure because they're protected by that splat wall. And look at this 1v1 here, battles between the two chargers on this block. It's just incredibly fascinating to see these two players going at it like toe to toe like this.
I love how they're just having their own sniper duel here while like the rest of their team is all focused everywhere else.
And that's the nature of the game with these two charger players, isn't it? What a great display from both Elixir and GoChild.
UCSD will pick up this Rainmaker first, though, progressing towards that checkpoint, able to get close to the first checkpoint, but not gonna knock it down, as they do maintain a slight numbers advantage. Coaster gonna end up backing up here, although UCSD should be pushing this hard now that they have 3 down. Luckily, this crab tank, though, is going to come out right on time for the Kraken Squids, and that's going to make it very difficult for UCSD to continue this push. But it's going to be, I believe that was Coaster that slipped through there and was able to secure the first checkpoint of the game.
And man, that checkpoint being cleared is going to matter a lot in the end, towards the end game here, because that there could be one opportunity where UCSD can just slip right by right under Kraken Squids' noses here. But alas, this is a good position here for Kraken Squids, launching these trip strikes and making some more room in mid, looking for their next opportunity to strike.
Yeah, and just look at the ZNF Charger just slowly moving up, finally getting the payout here from just creeping up ever so slightly, moving those splash walls forward just inch by inch. And that's going to now be 2 down, make it 3 down on the side of UCSD. The Kraken Squids on the move. But it's, I believe, CD Woomi's the last one standing there. It's going to be Sunlight that comes in to stop this push right on time. A huge stop for UCSD.
This is good, though. This is a good place for the Kraken Squids, though. They're right on the cusp there, and I can see them fighting desperately for this checkpoint here. They know how badly they need it now, because UCSD were the ones to clear it first. But they go 2 down here, and it's not looking safe for them to proceed forward and to obtain that checkpoint.
Oh man, yeah, that's just so unfortunate, but look at this flank, able to get 1, not able to pick off GoChild. If they picked off GoChild, that would have been monumental for the Kraken Squids, but they're gonna have to settle for that 1 pick for now, and leaving Go Child alive is already resulting in a punishment here. Oh man, the Kraken Squids was so close.
They're right on the cusp there. They can get it. Just one more opportunity. They just need 2 picks, get rid of CD Rumi, ensure that Goat Child is in an uncomfortable spot, and then they can rush right through to clear that checkpoint and just kamikaze it forward as much as they can just to secure that lead. It's right on the cusp, and I know they can do it.
Yeah, they need the first checkpoint and the pop, so they really can't just dive on in and throw everything at the checkpoint necessarily. They need at least a couple people alive to try to get the pop in addition to that. But that's not going to be helpful if Coaster on that junior is making plays here, and this Rainmaker is moving forward. They are adding on to their lead with 30 seconds to go, 43 remaining, and some able to pick off the custom junior. Coaster making another move here, able to get another pick, and that I didn't even realize the Rainmaker was holding forward there. It was too little, too late. Oh man, UCSD gonna secure the set.
Wow, I didn't even see the Rainmaker move because I was so distracted by the junior just moving. That was Coaster, right? Just moving by the bubbler and being stuck a distractor. That was a huge play by Coaster because they had at least one player on Kraken Squids distracted and not looking at the Rainmaker, and that is devastating.
Hell, wow, they had us distracted.
Yeah, I mean, I was completely dazzled. I mean, by the junior play, I was completely transfixed. I did not. I mean, Rainmaker, who?
Yeah, honestly, Coaster had us all fooled. Oh man, so great knockout there by UCSD to close out this set. It's taking the 4-0 victory over the Kraken Squids. So they go ahead and complete their run through against these Division 4, these really fast growing Division 4 teams from last season, now up in Division 1. But unfortunately for each of those teams, UCSD just they're playing with some fire under their butts right now. So you know I think that's kind of just a little bit of an unfortunate placement of schedule there. But I certainly hope that the Kraken Squids, continue to really just grow and take some games off of these teams, and I would love to see them get a couple of set wins as well.
Agreed, because again, I love their gameplay in this set. Like Elixir on that Charger, on that E-Leader was absolutely incredible. They had some great plays, and I love their movements, their little tech movements that they do, and all those crazy shenanigans. And of course, I have to pull out the various team synergies that N, Febka, and Dizzy were able to do together. They have really strong teamwork and coordination and synergy. So I can't wait to see more of that this season.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I believe looking towards next week, UCSD does face off against UC Davis's Banana Split. So that will be a California battle going on there towards the top of the standings. And the Kraken Squids will be going up against their old pals, VCU Ink Black, in a Division 4 championship rematch. So both of these teams have some big games up ahead, and I am certainly going to try to get these on stream if I can help it.
Absolutely. I mean, everyone, make sure to follow the correct socials because my goodness, we have some crazy stuff coming up tomorrow. And yeah, hold on, let's talk about tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, we totally can. Tomorrow, for the first time, we are having a official stream partner co-stream with us. We will be streaming at, I believe it is 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock Eastern, and Falco will be streaming a couple matches on Splatoon Tourney at 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock Eastern. So be sure to check out those matches that are going on at each of those respective channels. So be sure to go follow Splatoon Tourney because they will also be having official CCA coverage this season.
Agreed. Follow Splatoon Tourney, everyone. Hey, DRF, where can the good folks find you?
You can go ahead and find me on Twitter at DRF_Splatoon and on Twitch at TritonDRF. But as always, you probably have a better chance of finding me here on this channel for the CCA. Mizuno, how about yourself?
I always have to plug CCA underscore Splatoon, as always. But otherwise, you can find me on both Twitter and Twitch at MIZU underscore N0. So, folks, be sure to stay tuned for tomorrow's action because we have so many games coming up for you all to watch. We are so excited to have this collaboration with Falco Flyer from Splatoon Tourney. So keep an eye on socials for all the details, and we hope to see you all soon.